So my name is Mr. Willer. This is third period pre-calculus. This is my fourth year at Irvington High School. I've been teaching pre-cal all 4 years. This is my first year only teaching pre-cal, so I get to focus in on the subject. As far as my background goes, I earned my degree at California State University, Long Beach. I have a degree in math education, and that's my background. So up until now, I've built my entire life to math. Now I'm kind of sharing between math and ASP. Besides being a math teacher, I'm also our school's math intervention lead. And so I work with the district on projects that we do at our school to help struggling students using Algebra 1 and geometry refine and boost their math skills. I'm also the ASP director, obviously. I do the tech coordination for our theater, and I also do computer network tech support for our school as well. Which is amazing how I put that all into a single day's worth of work. I have no idea how I do it yet, but if I figure out how, I'll let you know. My school email, rwiller@k12.ca.us. My phone number goes right here, 510-656-5711, and the extension for this room is 46700. I get a lot of phone calls. The best time to call me is after 1. Usually I'm around here somewhere, and I can stop by and answer my phone, or at least return the message. I'll post this information at the end as well, if you didn't get it. So pre-calculus. Pre-calculus is really the cornerstone of high school mathematics. When they leave this class, they're going into a college curriculum math class. So I need to prepare them for the next step in mathematics education. In this class, we go over the topics that we started talking about in Algebra 2. We talk about functions, logarithms, we look at rational, radical, we look at trigonometric functions, we look at analytical geometry, we even look a little bit into sequences and series, and we see how that gives birth to calculus, which we'll do a little bit of calculus at the end as well. All these topics, except for the calculus, we started talking about in Algebra 2 and geometry. In this class, we go deeper. We go deeper into the math, we look more into the proofs and how it comes together, we look where it came from, how it all fits together, and we really do a lot of the skills that they need for calculus. For example, this week we're talking about functions. And one of the things that we're doing is we're having the students plug in functions into the difference equation, which is actually calculus work, but we just haven't called it calculus yet. So they're doing the work now, we're just not teaching the theory and how it actually is calculus. That's for next year. Your homework is pretty much the backbone of the class. That's the real only outside work that your students will be doing. Homework is pretty much daily. For every section we cover in the book, there will be a homework assignment from it. The students grade each other's work in class. If they score 70% of the problems correct, that counts as full credit on the homework assignment. If they score less than 70% of the homework correct, then they need to redo it for a better grade. This way, they're getting rewarded for effort, but they also have to understand the material, but they're not penalized because they can always go back, correct their mistakes, turn it in again for full credit. Kind of best of both worlds situation. The big thing is before every major exam, the first one will be next week on Friday. So before that exam, they will take a group test in this class. A group test is a shorter version of the test. We go over, as a basic, just a preview of the actual test. So they see the questions, they get to feel the pressure of the test, but they have 3 other people to help them out. Also gives them a chance that if they weren't prepared for it or studied the wrong thing, they have 1 more night, 2 more nights to go back and restudy, relook at the material, so there's never any surprises on the test. In addition to the group tests, we also have a review session in here every Thursday before a test on tutorial, and also a repeat of it at lunch, where I review the main points of each chapter. This is also with preparation for college. In college, if you want to be successful, you have to go seek out your teachers for extra help, or go to the study groups for extra help. And so I'm encouraging the kids to come to the study group that we have in this class to prepare themselves for the test. When I was teaching 2 years ago, I had 4 periods of pre-cal. I could get, at lunch tutorial, 150 kids that wanted to come in and learn. Contracts. I do contracts a little bit differently in this class than other teachers do. Most teachers will wait until the end of a semester or the end of the quarter and then say, oh, you're so close, this is what we'll do to raise your grade. I prefer to be more proactive. So any test your child does not pass, they can get a contract for that test. And what that means is that they get below 70% on a test, they will take that test home, you will have to sign it, and then they will have to go and correct their mistakes. When they turn in that corrected test with your signature, they are allowed to then retake the test, and they have to give me the corrections and the signature within 1 week, and they can retake it for up to a 70%. This way we're being proactive, because especially in math, if you miss one chapter, then you're already behind the next chapter and it just spirals from there. So I found if I can catch it in the beginning, it's easier for everybody. Resources for this class. My website is mymathresource.com. You can also get to it by going to irvington.org/rwiller. So it's either mymathresource.com or irvington.org/rwiller. Both places take you to the same place. Pretty much every teacher on campus, if you want to get to their webpage, is irvington.org/first initial last name. So I will now take you there. My website looks like this. It's little. I'm still getting it all together. I've been busy with everything happening. A lot of the key stuff's there. On the bottom, under forms, is the most important document, and that's the course syllabus. Talk about what we're looking for as far as topics and concepts in the class. We go over all of the classwork, materials. Probably the biggest thing in this class that's a little bit different is I don't allow calculators, both scientific or graphing, on tests, quizzes, or group tests. This way they're doing the work, they're doing the thinking. This class is preparation of the mind for calculus. So even though they get to use a calculator in calculus, I still want them to be thinking when they do the problem, as opposed to just randomly plugging numbers in. I want them, when they get to calculus, that even though they're using a calculator, they're still using their brain, looking at the numbers, saying, does this answer make sense? Is this answer reasonable? Not just accepting the truth of the calculator. Talked about homework policy. The other really big difference, as far as the grade scale, it's 90 to 100% A, just like you'd expect it, but I do not round grades. If they get an 89.9%, that is a B+. The reason why is because I give extra credit. So if they're really worried that they might get an 89.9, encourage them to do extra credit. For more extra credit at the beginning of the semester, and then as it gets closer to the end, it kind of dwindles down. Again, I'm rewarding the people who are on top of it at the very beginning, who are working hard from the get-go, who are not procrastinating, so that they invest now in extra credit. When it comes time to the grade, if they would have gotten 89.9, they did the extra credit, their grade comes up. So we're rewarding work ahead of time, rather than a student that comes up on the last day of the semester and says, well, I got an 89.9 and I smiled a lot and was friendly in class. There's no real rate.
But you do give extra credit though after your test or something, right?
Each chapter is a 10, 15 points, depending upon. I start more at the beginning of the year, and I kind of tail off as it gets towards the end, rewarding the students that are from the beginning.
Is there a lot of that in this class?
Sorry?
Is our kids proactive?
Yes.
Okay.
We're good. So, in fact, I was looking at, we just had our first big quiz last week on the prerequisite chapter, and I was making fun of them because grades were like A. So they did a really good job on that.
Cool.
Unfortunately, it's a little bit harder, but we'll build them up. But yeah, they are doing a really great job so far, and just again, preparing them for the skills, the knowledge they need to be successful, not only in calculus, but just general for college. Being proactive, seeking out teachers for help, coming and being prepared for tests. How do you review for a test? Those skills. Now, I also list all of my class notes. Unfortunately, it doesn't want to work. Unless maybe I will. Maybe it was.